So where do you apply? LinkedIn, LinkedIn, LinkedIn. LinkedIn is one of the best sources, because when I'm saying apply through LinkedIn, I'm not just talking about clicking the apply button. I'm talking about talking to people, having conversations, understanding the roles exist through multiple conversations of the people who represent the company. It's not just about clicking the apply button, especially because when it comes to outbound, your application will be lost in a sea of thousands of applications which are going there. Definitely it will be lost. So don't limit yourself to just clicking on the apply button. Get to referrals as quickly as possible, right? Connect with relevant contacts before submitting your application so that they can refer you. This is very important. So what does this mean? Before you click on the apply button, many companies have this policy that if you directly apply, it does not count as a referral. So before clicking on the apply button, instead what you do is you find someone in the network who is basically sitting in that company, send your portfolio to them or profile to them and say, you refer me to this particular role. Give the link of the role and say, you refer me to this role. And I did not click on apply. And if you refer me, you will be the first person who will be referring me. So when you do that, they'll actually get referral bonus if at all you get selected. And for the company also, you have higher chances of being screened and of they looking at you through a referral rather than clicking on the apply button. Okay. So always try for a referral before hitting the apply button. Okay. And sometimes it helps to go directly to the company website and applying. Okay. But that's fine. You can also use LinkedIn. But most importantly, I would use referrals. Okay. But then this is a very important thing. Look at recently funded companies. This is a very important hack, which I want all of you to note down. So what does this mean is you need to understand job opportunities, money follows money. So if a company recently got funding, most important activity they will do is hire. Given that's why people even get funding to hire talent and grow. Correct? So how is that you will understand? There are websites, there are news articles, right? They talk about funding. You go to these Inc. 42s and these Crunch bases websites, they talk about funding, the companies and their funding. Go and look at recently funded companies. Recent, it means 6 months to 1 year also recent. Okay. So around 6 months to 1 year back, if a company got good funding, especially if you are into startups, series A, B, C, they'll pay good money also, right? If they're into that, they'll most probably hiring. So when you talk to those people, they will take your resume and at least forward it. It will happen. They're usually having a conversation about hiring. In fact, especially senior product managers, product designers, or some key leaders in a startup and all, their LinkedIn status will be hiring for very good candidates. That's what they'll put in their status. You might have observed this. So they're always ready to talk to people. Obviously, a lot of people will message them. That's why your hook also matters here. If your hook is very relevant, not too lengthy, but it is making them curious to talk to you, they will talk to you because they are desperate to hire good people. If your reply is very generic, if your approach line is very generic, they know that they'll have to put you with hundreds of people out there who are not talented. The top 1% are very specific, very organic, very straightforward. So they know it by the way you message, they know it. So they will talk to you, right? So that's the hack. Find those companies. This is how you solve it. Alumni networks. This is a very important thing which most people also miss. Your college alumni. You might not be from a very reputed college, but you have had friends, college alumni or program alumni like this. There are a lot of alumni sitting here. Many people might have become designers, right? How do you know if they have done my program or not? Go search design thinking project, PPTP. Some project posts they might have made on LinkedIn, right? Find them, talk to them. They might be having some opportunity. Like today, Yash spoke and he said, I'm looking for a designer. So someone might be looking for a designer, right? You never know from where opportunities can fall at your place. So yeah, leverage alumni networks, be it this community, be it your college. Talk to them, shamelessly talk to them. Hey, what's up? What are you trying to do? I'm trying to become a UX designer recently. This is my portfolio. If at all you think there is an opportunity, please let me know. Talk or start following them on LinkedIn, start commenting on their posts, and you'll see that suddenly they open their LinkedIn tomorrow, your post will come for them. Yeah. So, like, guys, if you actually focus on it, you will realize that this game is actually very easy to crack. The reason you're not getting leads is because you're not doing any of this. And you're assuming doing all this is bad for the worst of. So, research about the company, because it's outbound leads, right? So, understand a little bit about the company. When you say research, You don't have to really do any documentation. Just understand a little bit more of the company, talk to people, get those referrals, right? And as I said, leverage your personal networks either through friends, through alumni, through community. Leverage them, shamelessly leverage these networks. Be the first mover, talk to them, be in their minds, somehow be in their minds. Be the loudest person and be in their minds. When you send emails for referrals and all, make sure that you maintain that hook. This email, which is very personalized, what is the meaning of personalization? They are looking for something and you have certain skills. So you're talking that language is very, very attractive than a very generic email which says, I am very much interested in your esteemed organization, kind of generic stuff, right? Next thing is very important. Approach for mentorship and ask good questions. Everyone wants to mentor. Whether they give you an opportunity or not, they'll be interested to mentor you, right? So on LinkedIn or anywhere you go, ask them for mentorship. Take their contact, ask them for a mentorship. Unless it is an influencer, there are people who will talk to you. So seek mentorship. They'll definitely talk to you when you seek mentorship. They'll not talk to you if it's like, hey, do you have any job opportunity? Like, many people will be there who will keep coming like this, right? So, but if someone comes and talks to a senior stakeholder and talks to them about some of the important design decisions, or hey, I see that in your company they have done this, so can we have a conversation about it? I want to learn from it, right? In fact, I've done a vlog. It's a very, very nice vlog. This one. One portfolio mistake that is costing you interviews. If you're smart, all you have to do is just get these people offline, talk to them. You can talk to a business owner to understand what kind of business goals they can have. You can talk to a senior designer and get mentorship from them and understand whether your work is good or not. So, all you need people out there to just provide you some mentorship. And it all depends on how well you are connected, how well you are interested in talking to people. Because I'll tell you one of the biggest mistakes people do right now, right? When they approach for mentorship, all they do is, hey, please give me mentorship. Hey, you know what? I'm looking for a job. Please just give me a job. As if they're just sitting with, come on, jobs. Da, 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 da. They don't like that's not what they're sitting for. What they're sitting with is their knowledge. They want to share it. They want to talk about good business problems. So please watch this vlog. It's a very interesting conversation which I've had, right? So all I'm trying to say is people really want to share knowledge. People really want to have conversations. They really want to mentor, but hardly anyone comes to them and has conversations related to this, right? So when you go to meetups, when you go and find these senior designers, or probably even on LinkedIn, like they're all there, have design conversations. And you have no clue because the kind of conversation you are having with them, it might turn out an opportunity sometime later. These kind of things have happened, right? So approaching people for mentorship, ask them some question, talk to them about their work, and automatically they'll become your mentors and automatically it'll start helping out. And if it works out, they'll share the contact and you'll start having a longer conversation with them. Understanding the leadership core principles and values of a company. So what does this mean? So every company, when it wants to hire, they generally have something called as these leadership principles or core principles or values or something like that. Every company generally has this. When they hire people, they usually want people to have these values, basically. So when they hire, back of their mind, in their hiring processes, they evaluate people through the values which the company has. Let's say a company choose to have a value saying, I'll give a very popular example, that is someone who has bias for action. Okay. A person who will take a compromise or a biased move because we can act today instead of thinking a lot and deciding and doing things tomorrow, right? So this is something which is, let us say, the core principle of our company. Now, in your interviews, can your examples or can the stories which you are talking about represent this? Did you get what I'm saying? Culture at Meta. This is a huge company. This is a like big company. Huh. So our core values define who we are. Move fast, focus on long-term impact, build awesome things, live in the future, be direct and respect your colleagues, metamates and me. What does this mean? So they're basically wanting people who are very enthusiastic and who always dream about the future, right? Because that's what Meta is into generally, right? They are actually building up for the future. If you think about Meta's investments in mixed reality and the headsets which they're building and the whole layer which they are building, it's like quite amazing. The way Meta has thought
more useful too.
Over the years, they have 2023 version, 2024 version, like multiple, like they do it multiple years. If you watch these things, you will actually think, you'll understand how much future they are actually thinking and how much they're trying to translate how future interactions are going to be done and how are they designing for today. It'll be really, really very amazing. It'll be very interesting to actually be enthusiastic about it. Anyway, coming back to the point. So if you think of it, that's a culture they want to hire people. They want people who are living in the future, who are very enthusiastic and doing things like that, right? That's what Meta always is looking for. Now, when you're, let us say, interviewing at Meta, so when you look at this live in the future, when you are giving an answer, this principle should remind you that in the answer which I'm giving, I need to make sure that I talk about how I've also thought about the future. And that way, you know for sure that they are listening to you and they get a checkpoint that you are fitting into their culture, right? Big companies even have actual checklists. They have a bunch of questions under these principles. Like under build awesome things, they'll have some interview questions which they'll give to the people to interview, which you will never know. As a candidate, you will never know that it was actually related to that. So that's why it's a hack. The hack is to go and look at these foundational principles which define the culture of an organization and build examples. You can't build generic stuff. You can't say, I always think about the future. I love the future. No, you have to establish through your portfolio, through your projects, through how a certain decision or something which you have made, you were thinking about the future tomorrow. How this interaction you also thought about probably how would people have a feature like this tomorrow in a meta quest or a meta mixed reality interface. How will people increase their baskets? You have thought, if at all you have thought about it. I'm not saying if you have thought about it, right? So you will build a story like that. Because if you're interviewing at Meta, they are looking for people who are living in the future. Got it? Always go and understand what are the leadership principles or core principles or values of a company, and they will largely help you in your interviewing process. Okay.